Hey, what is up, everybody? Happy Halloween. I hope everyone's having a fantastic Halloween. And um, I'm here to give you guys my Halloween movie review series. Um, I'm going to be doing 3 of these today because I really want to try to plug right through these and finish all of them because um, I literally only have like 3 more left to do, and it would just suck if I couldn't finish all of them. I'm literally on. This is literally the 29th edition of it, so if I couldn't finish them, that would be kind of sad. Um, so let's just get right into it. So unfortunately, with this one, I actually didn't know what I was going to expect when I actually watched the movie because the movie I picked was Girl versus Monster. The title fits. But when I was, I'm gonna be honest, when I was going through um, a while ago picking this list out, I was going through Netflix, and pretty much what happened was it was getting to the point where I was running out of options. I picked all of them, and one of them was just kind of thrown in there. This was one of them. I pretty much just threw Girl versus Monster in here, not knowing what it was. I was just gonna go into it and I wasn't expecting what I got. Not saying that the film was really bad or anything, but pretty much what happened was I found out pretty much that this was a one of those Disney Channel movies. Now, obviously, usually the purpose of Disney Channel is normally when a actor wants to become huge, they go to show like Disney Channel or Nickelodeon, go on one of those teen shows and become the it flavor. Um, a lot of people do this. Some people it works very well. Some people it works very well, and some people it doesn't. Some people stay there for pretty much just stay the face of Disney Channel for a while, and some people use Disney Channel to branch out and become bigger in Hollywood. A lot of people have done it, and this is was and yeah, so you had some of that here. Um, and I was kind of disappointed because Disney Channel is kind of like when a movie goes to Disney Channel. To me, it means that this kid movie really wasn't good enough to make it to actual theaters, um, and pretty much like it really, it's pretty much like the equivalent of going like straight to DVD. But ironically enough, I'd rather just go straight to DVD because at least you can make some money. When you go to DVD because pretty much when you have movies that go straight to DVD because at least people go actually to buy the DVD. When you go to actually because pretty much you have to go watch this on Disney Channel and you pretty much are giving this away to people for free because it's part of their cable packages. It's part of what they get, so they probably make some money out of it, but not a ton of money. So that's kind of what I think about that. Um, Now, what you're gonna see, I'm not gonna post the thumbnail yet, but you're gonna see the thumbnail for this video is actually gonna be like um, the poster for the movie, and the poster looks terrible. Like it looks like something that was done like on Microsoft Office. Maybe even worse than that. And it definitely wasn't 2016. This looks like something that was done in Microsoft Office like 1997 through 2003. Being legit. Um, it looks terrible. And yeah, let me just go through the stuff. So I actually normally when I do these Halloween movie review series, I give you guys this grand old backstory about how the film was created. I can't do that this time because I actually don't know how the film was created. It doesn't give you that information, so whatever. The movie it says here is a comedy, horror, science fiction, and teen movie. Really wasn't funny. Really wasn't scary. Science fiction I see, and it's definitely a teen movie. The screenplay, the people that wrote this film were Annie D. Young and Ron McGee. Um, the story was written by Annie D. Young. It was directed by Stuart Gillard, and the theme music composer was Robert Duncan, and the producers were Tracy Jeffrey and Sherry Sinner. The cinematography was done by Thomas Thurston. The editor was James R. Simmons, and the production companies that produced this movie were Bad Angel Productions and Just Sinner Entertainment. And the distributor was Disney ABC Domestic Television. It's pretty much the Disney Channel. The network was Disney Channel, and this movie was released on October 12th, 2012. I guess they wanted to get like the kids excited for Halloween, so this was one of the ways to do that. So they did it in that way. So yeah, it was pretty much the entire like backstory going into it. I don't know the budget or how much how much money, what the budget was for this movie. It doesn't release that type of information, and for box office draw, there isn't any because it wasn't released to theaters or anything like that. So I do kind of have an idea of what that is. So the movie starts off with people. We see these people setting up for a party. The attending this Halloween party, and we meet the main character, Skylar Lewis, and we meet her friends Henry and Sadie. What a weird name, but that's the name they went with. And the whole gist of the first part of the scene is to kind of introduce the characters. We find out that Skylar isn't afraid of anything, so she does things like when they were handing out the banner to the post to the for the party. One of her friends, Ryan Dean, she runs on top of him and like grabs onto the sign and does like a flip. And she's taken like 6.5 years of gymnastics, so she was able to pull this off. But normally people would be afraid to do that. She doesn't really understand what fear is because she's never experienced fear, which there's a reason for that later on. And pretty much Ryan's also in a band. He's with a band with Maria Santelli and his other friends. I don't really know who they are. They didn't really have much of a role in this film. So Skylar practices with them, and Maria doesn't like Skylar. She's kind of like the stuck-up popular girl in the film. And every Disney Channel movie, for some odd reason, has that. I don't know why it does. Every Disney Channel, I've also noticed too, as I was watching this, they always have like a band too. Like there's always someone performing in a band. It's kind of like the same. So pretty much in this case, if you've seen one Disney Channel movie, you've seen them all pretty much because there's always that stuck-up that's the stuck-up popular girl. You have the main character who's normally not too popular. There's a rare occasions where that happens. You always have some sort of band in Disney Channel. So I don't really know why they go with that. I think it's kind of weird. All right, but anyhow, continuing with the film. Pretty much, Ryan likes Skylar. They've been friends for years, but they assume is too afraid to ask her out because she's possibly going to say no, or that Maya's not going to be happy about it because Maya pretty much has Ryan wrapped around his fingers because since they're in the band together, they always get stuck dating. And Skylar's parents are overprotective, so she has to be home by a certain curfew. And Skylar and Sadie are walking home, and Sadie's afraid because they're walking by an abandoned cemetery, and one of like the statues of it comes to life, like it's a monster. And then when Skylar and Sadie walk away, we see that this creature gets caught, and we find out that they get caught by Skylar's parents, who are monster hunters. And they have all these big gadgets. They have this gadget. It's pretty much, if you've seen Ghostbusters, they're pretty much the same gadget. This is the same concept, except it's monsters. They have the monster trap. They have laser guns. This is pretty much Ghostbusters, except it's a Disney Channel film with monsters. And Skylar doesn't know they're actually monster hunters because we find out why later on why she can't know that. So because it's Halloween night, normally the monsters start getting bigger. Normally the monsters come out more so at night. So Skylar's parents don't want her going out, and she's supposed to go to like this Halloween party, and she can't go because her parents don't want her to, and her parents kind of feel guilty about it, that they can't tell her that the monster hunters. We meet her uncle, Cobb, who is kind of like the typical Disney Channel always like to write these characters too, who characters like in the mid-30s who have no girlfriends and stuff, and they don't have a life, and they're like that science nerd. I don't know why Disney Channel likes that character. It works, but it's weird. So Skylar's parents start to get suspicious when more monsters start coming, more so than ever during this season. They end up catching a monster that disguises itself as a puppy, and yeah, and we find out they don't do this for money. It's all, which is kind of weird. They do this for community work. They actually have a high-paying job where they look at funguses and bacteria and stuff. And if I had a job, and I mean, it's not a great job, but I mean, that's a pretty decent job. Those scientists, they could literally, all these guns could literally be used to could have literally been used to win wars and stuff. So, I don't know. But anyhow, I didn't really like the explanation about why they're monster hunters. Community service. That was just dumb. I know I jumped ahead, but so then later on, yeah. So Scarlett tells Dean and Sadie that she can't go to the party, which they get mad about because her parents are overprotective of her, which they had every right to be in that case, but obviously they didn't. So then, then later on, she goes to see Ryan, and Ryan sings his song. It's called "Had Me at Hello." This song plays throughout the movie, and yeah. So then, pretty much, he sings it the first time, and pretty much, he is nervous. And we also found out later on too that we actually had seen this earlier in the movie where Maria tries to do the exact same thing that Skylar did, where she tries to set up the sign, but she fails and falls and breaks her neck, which we clearly saw coming. I actually thought it was kind of funny when she fell, though. So she can't speak. So Ryan asks Skylar to fill in for him, and she does. She was reluctant about it because technically she's not supposed to be going to this party. So she was going to sneak out, but she keeps trying to ask her parents if she can go, and her parents say no again, and they put an alarm system on, so that way if she sneaks out, it will go off, and then she's going to cut the power, and one thing I didn't mention, there was this chamber, and they had all the monsters inside of it. And when Skylar cuts the power, since there's no power, the monsters are able to break right out of this chamber. Um, um, and all the monsters get released, and Skylar's parents, technically Skylar pretty much finds out that the monsters are, the monsters are, she pretty much finds out that her parents are monster hunters. Um, and we meet like the three main monsters of this movie. We meet Damata, who is Skylar's personal monster. Um, we meet the Doza, who we find out later on was Sadie's personal monster. She showed up anytime Sadie had like any fear of school, and one of and the first time she had seen her was when Skylar was when she had missed a spelling word, and she misspelled the word goat. So I thought that was interesting. Um, and we also meet Bob the Scarecrow, who's Henry's personal monster, and every time he goes into the woods, he's afraid of him. So I thought the Scarecrow thing kind of worked. And his name was Bob the Scarecrow, and um, I thought those were and I gotta say, Tracy Dawson plays D'Amato in this film, and D'Amato, she does a great job playing D'Amato. So pretty much we find out that the whole reason that Skylar doesn't have fear is because originally D'Amato haunted her grandfather, and eventually when he died, she started haunting Skylar, so she became Skylar's personal monster. And um, because D'Amato has been in this chamber for like about 15 years, um, Skylar um, Skylar hasn't had any fear because a monster's been contained in this thing, which I kind of thought made sense. Um, and yeah, what else? Um, so pretty much, we also find out too that these monsters feed off fear. They get stronger every time you show that you're afraid of them. Um, Sorry, I had to make a quick phone call, but I'm back. So as I was saying, yeah, we find out these monsters feed off fear, so they get stronger each time um, that you're afraid of them. And Damata, pretty much her purpose is she wants to destroy Skylar's parents and takes pretty much possess Skylar. To which I say, how is this a monster then? Because normally that's what a ghost would do. So I don't know. That didn't make any sense. Like these looked like more like this seemed like more like it was ghosts than monsters. So it was weird. But anyhow, Skylar, because she's never experienced fear before, is afraid of this. So she starts getting denial. She doesn't believe in any of this stuff, and but she's gonna go to the party. Cobb thinks it's a good idea for her to go because she'd be surrounded by a bunch of people and would have protection. So he gives her like a bunch of weapons. Like I said, pretty much Ghostbusters 2.0, and they walk through the woods and they meet these tree monsters. I'm just going to call it because they didn't really specify what it was. And the tree monsters chasing after them. Uh, Skylar takes out one of the tree monsters with her wrist gun, and Dean gets afraid. Not Dean. Henry gets afraid of the Scarecrow, so he freezes in fear. So Cobb comes and take him back. Now Cobb's been fixing the generator and stuff because they need this generator, or else the monsters won't be able to get back into that containment system. So he's also going to unfreeze Henry. So then also Skylar's parents realize that these monsters have escaped, and Skylar's parents try to warn her. They try to tell her what's been going on, but then Dimitri, all the monsters, I almost call them ghosts because that's what they should be, go right through the van and cut off Skylar's phone. So then later on, they lead Skylar's parents into a trap where they act like that it's Skylar in trouble, screaming from Demetra, and obviously it was a trap, so it didn't work. So later on, we see that they're all tied up, and her grandiose plan is that they're going to scare them and then scare the daughter right in front of them. I thought that was pretty lame. And throughout this film, they kept teasing that monsters were afraid of garlic. Like Skylar's mom believed it, but Skylar's dad didn't believe in it. He thought it was superstition, and yeah, it was weird. We also had found out throughout this film that Skylar was like a fifth generation monster hunter. Her parents were like the best in the business. Her mother was the original one, but then her father became a monster hunter, and her grandfather was actually a monster hunter. And I forget the guy's name, but her grandfather was actually the guy that like the house is being taken, the party's taking place at her grandfather's like old house, and he pretty much locked himself up after the monsters got to him, and eventually he was found. He wasn't found. You obviously know what happened to him though. And so then Damata is going to try to feed off Skylar's fear because she's still not strong enough. I don't understand if the whole purpose was to eliminate Skylar's parents, why she didn't just kill them right off the bat, but whatever. So she possesses Myra. And actually, what was funny about this is right after she possesses her, her neck instantly starts to feel better. So Skylar starts to experience stage fright when it's time for her to perform with Ryan. So at first she's originally going to conquer it, but then Myra comes up and makes her even more afraid. So Skylar runs away in fear. Skylar's afraid. She starts eating. She starts fear eating, I think it's called, and she just wants to leave. She's going to run away, but her friend Sadie convinces her to stay, saying that if you run away from your fear, it's just going to make it worse. So they're going to become monster hunters. They finally catch a monster. At this point, Henry had been revived. Cobb had made like this special potion to revive him. And he have to take more monster hunter traps and stuff to Skylar and Sadie. So he wants to be the one to do it to conquer his fear. And later on, he runs into the Scarecrow monster, Bob the Scarecrow, and he pretty much just tells him he's not afraid of it. And they do this whole thing where we're trying to make it seem like Henry was breaking up with him, so that was weird. Then, pretty much Henry shows he's not afraid with it, and Bob the Scarecrow just shrivels up into nothing. And that's pretty much how you conquer the monsters, is you just show them that you're not afraid. And Skylar and Sadie are doing really well catching monsters. So then, when Demetra sees that Skylar and Sadie are starting to become competent, Demetra just starts having fear go all throughout the apartment. Originally, Skylar was just going to finally show that she was confident by performing with Ryan, but Demetra possesses Ryan, and Ryan's able to break out of it when he asks Skylar out, and obviously she said yes. It would have been funny if she had said no, though. And then Sadie conquers her monster by spelling words very well, which I thought made sense because of the whole spelling bee fiasco. What was kind of weird though was, even though they had kind of talked about how we knew that Ryan and Skylar were going to get together, they didn't really make it seem like that was the thing he was the most afraid of. If anything, it should have been him performing, thinking he didn't have a good voice, because that's kind of the story they went to, but instead they went into that story. It was weird. So then, but Demetra then finally reveals that she took Skylar's parents. So Skylar goes up on the top of the roof, and Skylar's just gonna drop him. But no, Demetra's just gonna drop him. And what was funny is Sadie and Henry go up to save them, and everybody else from the party, Ryan and everybody else, just pretty much just sits there and just watches this happen. They don't do anything to stop it, which was stupid because there was like more of them. So Skylar acts like she's just gonna surrender herself to Demetra, but it ends up being a trap. She even had taken off all the fins, and Sadie had handed her a weapon, which didn't work. The trap didn't work, and Demetra starts to get stronger, and Skylar thinks that, and they think that it's Skylar that's afraid, but it's actually Skylar's parents that are afraid, because Skylar's parents were like just about to fall off the roof, and even though the whole thing was that they didn't think Skylar could do this on her own, but to me, I'm like, that probably was part of it. But if I'm about to like fall off a roof, I wouldn't even be thinking about whether or not my daughter could conquer a monster. I'd be scared for my life. That didn't really make any sense. So Skylar's gonna save her parents so that way they wouldn't be afraid. And as Demetra continues to get bigger, um, they eventually trap her, and then the movie ends. With Skylar giving like this big emotional speech about how you should conquer your fear. Sadie is finally able to do well in school. Henry's able to stand up to his bullies, and they played this song called "You Already Had Me, I Had It Low," and it really wasn't that good of a song, anyways. But it didn't really fit the whole message of what she was trying to say, so I didn't really think that made any sense. But whatever. Overall, this movie. Now, obviously, I'm not gonna the movie really wasn't bad. I think it's just not for my demographic. Like it probably was great to like somebody who was like a teenager watching this film, but to me it really wasn't. It's the typical Disney Channel film you see all the time, um, and it's not bad, but it's not great. So if I had to give it, it's a decent movie. I'll give it a 6 out of 10. It's decent. I actually like the story where you have to pretty much conquer your fear to get um, to you know, a couple of these monsters. I thought it had a decent cast. I especially loved, Demetra's role in this movie. I thought she did a great job. I liked Myra's role in this movie. Sadie, I thought it was a good character in this film. So it had some good characters. Um, had a lot of filler characters, like Henry really did brought nothing to this film. Skylar was just she was a main character, but she really doesn't go through like any change. The only change she really goes through is realizing that feels okay to have. So I guess that was a big change, but she didn't really like change. Like she acted the exact same. It's just that she had fear now. Um, but Cobb was a nothing character. Skylar's parents kind of really didn't bring anything to this film, so I thought they kind of like jumped into the story a little too soon, where they had Skylar like literally it was Halloween night, and they had Skylar just become like this expert monster hunter like one night. That wouldn't happen. That wouldn't happen in any other movie. Um, I think the movie would have been better if you had filmed this like a few days earlier, and then you kind of slowly build up to her becoming a monster hunter. I don't know. It would have been better, but yeah, there was just a lot of stuff that really wasn't like um yeah, it was just the typical Disney Channel movie. But for reception, um, it premiered on Friday, October 12th, 2012, earning a 4.9 million viewers with the #1 scripted cable TV telecast of the night. Which doesn't really say much because normally not a lot of people watch TV on Friday nights. And I mean, 4.9 million is a decent rating, but um, and it's the second TV movie of 2012 in kids 7 to 11 and teens. The film had 271,000 viewers in the UK and Ireland when it premiered on October 26, 2012. And yeah, so that was it. The cast: Olivia Holt played Skylar Lewis. Brendan Mayer played Henry. Karis Horsey, Karis Dorsey played Sadie. Uh, Luke Benwood played Ryan Dean. Luke Benwood's been in Good Luck Charlie before. I actually have some reviews of that up on my CM Brothers channel, which you should check out, which I haven't even reviewed the episodes where he comes into the picture. Catherine McNamara played Myra Santelli. I don't remember. I remember she's in other stuff. I don't remember exactly what she's been in, though. She was in something I know, though. She was in Tom Sawyer. She played Becky Thatcher in Tom Sawyer and Huckleberry Finn in 2013, which I have a review of that up on my channel. It's my Movie Monday reviews. I thought I recognized her for somewhere. So yeah, she was in and she's in the Sweet Life Zack and Cody, where she's Brian McNamara's daughter. Um, so she's been in some stuff I've known. Um, I thought I recognized her from somewhere. Tracy Dawson played Damata. Annie Galvin played Fidosa, which was Sadie's personal monster. Stefano um, Lunati, I don't know how to say the last name, played Bob the Scarecrow. Jennifer Asplund played Joe Lewis. Brian Palmo. Joe Lewis, by the way, was Skylar's mother. Brian Palmo played Steve Lewis, who was Skylar's father. Adam Chambers plays Cobb, and Cut Outstland played lead jock and Henry's bully. Really wasn't his bully because you saw him like once in the film, so I didn't really think it was much of a bully. And the songs that were performed in this movie were "Fearless" by Olivia Holt, "Had Me at Hello" by Luke Benwood, um, "Nothing Gonna Stop Me" by Olivia Holt, "Had Me at Hello" by Olivia Holt, "I Got My Scream On" by China Ann McClain. I don't remember. Oh yeah, that was when they were all in the house, and China Ann McClain had her own show called Anthem. "Nothing's Gonna Stop Me" reprised by Catherine McNamara, and "Had Me at Hello" by Olivia Holt, Luke Benwood, and Kathy McNamara. McNamara, yeah. So that's pretty much my review of the film. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you didn't, no big deal. It wasn't like I really planned on doing this film. So thank you guys for watching. Talk to you later.